RB Bass Angler Steve Blumberg here with some tackle storage tips that I think will help you out. Let's get into it. Do you get super frustrated when you go to pull out a crankbait and it looks like this? Or like this? Dude, I just finally had it, man. I had it with all the time it took to untangle those things and you're getting hooks in your hands. We'll get into the solution to that. I also decided to reorganize my entire tackle storage system. My old locker looked like this, and it was pretty organized. I knew where everything was, but I had to move boxes to get to other boxes, and frankly, it just wasn't working for me. I went to the Plano Edge system because you can customize those boxes a little bit more, and they offer thin boxes and thick boxes on top of the standard ones. And I just felt like I was going to be able to fit a lot more in it, and sure enough I did. Let's take a look at what I accomplished with it. So after a couple of days of effort sitting on the driveway fixing everything, I got my tackle locker looking like this now. Everything's super accessible, you can see what you got. The Plano Edge boxes have these nice labels on them where you can take a Sharpie and write what's in the box on each one, and then you can just take rubbing alcohol, Lysol wipe. Most cleaners, it'll just wipe right off, and then you can relabel it if you decide to repurpose the box. Before we get too deep into the Plano stuff, I want to show you what I did for the treble hooks on the crankbaits. I was able to take 4 boxes of lipless crankbaits and fit them into one Plano 3700 deep box. Pretty cool. Now, all these lipless are pretty stacked in here, but say I want an LV500 and I want this one and I go digging for it, it comes right out. I got these little hook bonnets on there. So now my lures aren't hooking each other, they're not hooking me. I can rifle around without worry of putting a hook point into me. I just thought that was super slick. The green size is pretty standard for most crankbaits. If you have ones that have the large hooks, you need to get the red ones. I'll put links down in the description for you guys if you're interested in doing this. I think a bag comes with like 100 bonnets, and I was spending like 12 to 15 bucks. But all in all, I think it's a good investment because it's going to save me a lot of time untangling stuff. Now this box is a thick, this box is a standard, and then the hook box is a thin. They're all 3700 size, but they don't all take up the same amount of airspace, which is nice. So let's look at some of these other boxes. This is the hook box, and it's nice because it comes with all these individual closing containers. So you don't have to worry about your little hooks finding their way in with the bigger hooks and all that other junk you go through. They also come with 3 of these weight containers. They normally have inserts in them. I took the inserts out just because I want to pack a bunch of stuff in there. So I got my light drop shot weights, my heavy drop shot weight. I haven't put anything in this one yet. But all in all, this is a really good way to keep your stuff organized and dry. You know, you open your box in the rain, you get some water in there, you put a wet hook away, shame on you, and you shouldn't be losing your hardware. Another super cool 3700 box is the jig box. I really like this. I saw some less than favorable reviews on this box because people said their jigs were falling out and getting all disorganized. I'm not having that issue. What you do is in between the head of the jig and the skirt, you got that little space, and it fits right into these keepers perfectly, just nice and snug. Push it down and it's stuck. I even got my chatterbaits in here. There was room for the blades on the side. It's got a water wick insert as well, watertight. Those little fingers that hold all the jigs come right up to the top of the plastic, so I can even go upside down and shake it. Nothing moved. This is a nice box. I really like the jig box. That helped me organize a couple different 3700 boxes into one jig box. I mean, I got them packed in there. This thing's awesome. Let's look at the crankbait box. Now, this one, I didn't think I was gonna like. And in all truthfulness, I did not buy it to store my crankbaits. What I did buy this for was I thought I was gonna hold all of my GoPro equipment in here. So what I had originally done was I pulled this insert that holds the crankbaits out of there, and I had stacked all my GoPro stuff in there, and frankly, for my OCD, it just wasn't enough organization, so I did something different that I'll show you here in a second. But let's look at these crankbaits. You got these kind of hard plastic fingers that stick up, and they just hold your crankbaits. I haven't had any trouble with the hooks grabbing them yet. I haven't had any trouble with the hooks getting tangled up with other crankbaits. I was able to organize everything by color and diving depth. Yeah, I dig it. There is a lot of airspace in here over the crankbaits that, I mean, it is kind of necessary for your big lip crankbaits. to have that extra space, so I get it. I was a little upset at first though of how much space this box took up, but the fact that I was able to put a couple of crankbait boxes condensed into one bigger box, I'm in. It's cool. It's going to keep everything nice and dry. It's got a nice flat surface that you can actually put a 3700 box on top of, so it doesn't totally devastate any organization you want to do, and I'm able to fit that in the compartment nicely. Couple of boxes that I am really impressed with, and I was super excited to buy and then super excited to set up. First one is the spinnerbait box. I put my buzz baits and my spinner baits in here, and these little dividers are totally movable or removable if you want. It has a little moisture wicking insert in there as well, but basically you take your crankbaits and they just hang right on the wire, and I just staggered them. I was able to fit a lot of stuff in here. It's well organized. You can see what you have. You can stow your stuff real easy. You can also get your stuff out of there real easy. I'm really digging the spinnerbait box. The other box I'm totally loving is the frog box. I always struggled with trying to keep my frogs in a 3700 box. My tails would get all messed up. My frogs would get dented. I just had issues with it. So this system, you have these hangers, and I like it because I'll just pop the front up and I can see what I have, and they just hang right on there, and I can pull my frog out. All the tails hang freely so they can dry and not get all stuck together. If you want to see more of what you got, you can take the whole thing out, see what's going on. It holds an absolute ton of frogs. I mean, I'm not even half full and I got a bunch of stuff in here. You can put 50 frogs in here. That's pretty awesome. Good little system. Keeps everything organized, keeps everything dry and clean. I haven't seen anything I like better. This is a great box. One final box I want to show you is back here. This is what I ended up doing for my GoPros. This is the 3700 Flex box, and you can make this into literally anything you want. Everywhere from having 0 dividers to having everything divided, making little squares this size through the whole box. So I was able to fully customize this to my gear that I carry. This is the everyday GoPro stuff that I'm gonna need. I have another Pelican case that I can keep all the possibles in, but really this is the day-to-day bangers that I use, I need to get to. The nice clear lid makes it to where I can see everything. It's a watertight box, so I don't have to worry about my equipment getting messed up in bad weather. Really liking this Plano Edge Flex box. One other thing from Plano I want to show you that isn't from the Edge series, but it is color coordinated to the Edge series if your OCD is as thick as mine, which is kind of nice. But it's these little bags. This is a 3600 size bag, so you could stack a few of these in a 3600 box. I just needed a way to keep my trash fish executioners, you know, those larger soft plastic swim baits, safe. And then I took another one and I put my little finesse A-rigs in there. This will hold a full-size A-rig too. Just a way to keep them dry and organized. This is a great option if you have stuff that you want to keep together. Doesn't necessarily need to go in a box, or maybe you want it to be more flexible to where you can fit these things where a box won't fit. So I'm really liking these bags as well. I'm going to put Amazon links down in the description for you. If you use them, I do get a slight commission. Doesn't cost you any extra, but it helps me make these videos and I sure do appreciate it. You can also go to purefishing.com, get anything you want from the entire Plano series. They got it all there. Thanks for hanging out and checking out the solutions to my frustrating problems. See you next time.